Hello.
Phone on. Hello, everybody.
Mic check. Oh, did the Jesse thing. Check. How's it going, guys? Welcome to Thursday episode of Rhymes with Klei.
Thursday episode.
Yeah. Because we got the Tuesdays with Jesse.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And he
Good
kills
call.
it, so we have something to,
Yeah.
you know.
The bar
The
is.
bar is high. What's going on, guys? I'm Ragnar. I'm an artist on Oxygen Not Included.
And I'm Alex, and I'm an artist on Oxygen Included.
Not Oxygen Included.
You know the game.
The game.
Yeah. Hi, everybody.
Yeah, how's it going? Going to. Hi, Jen.
Is our sound okay? Can
Yeah.
you hear us?
Mic check.
Thanks, Jan. Jan's off screen, handling
He's over there.
business as usual. It's so cute seeing the devs talk about their children. Well, let's just put away the animation. I'll start busting out pictures of my kids.
I do not have the children's.
Do you have a dog?
No, not yet.
Do you
Soon.
have a cat?
No. When we move, hopefully we will get a doggo, a good doggo.
It's controversial in parents' circles, but I consider dogs and cats practically children.
They just stay children forever, man.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we're going to talk about animation, much like how we did last time, if you guys were here for us when was that? It was a few weeks ago.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
We talked about keyframes and breakdowns and all that stuff. We kind of just planned to go through some of the animation files, some of the duplicate animation files specifically, which we did last time, and we were kind of do something similar, unless anyone had, questions, requests. How do I do this? How do I animate that?
I guess we're doing a huge
And we can do
Q&A
examples.
portion. Yeah. So if anyone has animation questions,
Yeah.
line it up.
Or how do we do this thing in Oxygen Not Included?
Yeah. I guess like procedures as well. If anyone has questions on how we do our workflow in Animate, we can.
We're
go
gonna
through a bunch
bear
of-
all.
Yeah.
You're gonna know everything.
Giving away secrets.
So let's do that. You want to start? You want me to start? Okay. You're like, "Whew."
Yes.
All right. Did you guys flip the stream room? Jan's always reworking the stream room.
Yeah, it's
just
always
to keep
different
you
when
guys
we
on
come
your
in here.
toes.
Yeah.
How do you decide what facial expressions to give your dupes? You make that decision based on what they're doing. Like, it sounds obvious, but if they're sad, you.
Yeah, give them a sec.
Sounds like a terrible answer, but
Alex and Erica sit across from me, and Nana beside me, so I usually look around the room and see what kind of facial expression they all have on, and then
Yeah.
I'll just like, oh.
yeah. The
Copy that.
what they tell you in animation school, which I don't think I've ever seen this in a studio, but maybe is like they tell you to put a mirror next
Yeah,
to your
yeah,
desk.
yeah.
That's kind of old school, I guess.
Referencing.
Like you could probably just like take selfies on your phone nowadays.
Turn
But yeah, back in the old days, animators apparently had mirrors on their desk, and they just like make like weird faces into it and try to draw those faces.
Now you can use your cell phone and just do the face cam.
There you go.
And you're good to go. Question here: do you know of any free animation programs?
Free animation programs. What's that one on iPad? If you have an iPad, which isn't free.
I can't. Yeah. It's the less, the least free.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Isn't
know of
there
any
one?
free ones, but I know I do use something from the Google store there. It's about $7, I think, for the full program. It's called Flip a Cup.
Okay.
Flip a Clip.
Flip
Sorry.
a Clip. That's
Yeah,
the one
yeah,
I was
yeah,
thinking of.
yeah.
That's
I
$7.
always say cup. Why is
Flip a
Flip a
cup.
Flip a Clip. Yeah. There you go.
There you go. Otherwise, I don't know. Yeah, can you get like? Yeah, there's got to be like if you, yeah. I don't know. Sorry, I don't have a better answer than that. Flip a clip. I haven't actually tried, but I'd like to. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very simple, and it's kind of like you do classical animation on it. And you just draw it straight up and do. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the best way to go about learning to animate and earn your bread as an animator? I say go to school because I went to school.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, some people are like awesome enough that they don't go to school; they just learn it at home.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be pretty disciplined to do that, and you have to be like, outgoing enough to like bother people and learn from them, and hopefully get a first job that way. Otherwise, yeah, you go to animation school. Look up night classes if you haven't gotten into animation school yet. That's what I did.
Yeah.
Just to meet people that know more than you do.
Yeah. It's a good place to also have like to learn, just because everybody's like, constantly getting better, and like you're sharing like techniques and networking, so you get to know more people. And also, if anything else, going to school just affords you that time to not have to concentrate on anything else but your art. So yeah, so even if you just go to school for like a full year, you're doing a full year of just drawing and animating and stuff. So
I just looked at the screen and I was leaning so far forward that I look like I'm like 5 times bigger than you.
Wait, there was a Flight of the Conchords concert where they did that.
Oh, really?
On the screen, because Brett
great.
was supposed to
That's
be a
great.
child.
So my eyes are failing, so I have to read the screen really close up.
I just always, I'm child-sized, so it's hard to not look small.
Stop it. Why does the animation in Oxygen Not Included trailers remind me of Lego Movie, while the animation in Don't Starve seems a tad more fluid and different? Minds Patch asks. Why do you think that's the case?
Because in the Lego Movie, I feel like they actually tried to do that like stop motion looking thing.
Yeah.
Right? And also, just by virtue of like how Legos proportionally are kind of similar to how the dupes are built.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah,
So,
and just take a look at this for a second.
boom.
That head is pretty Lego-like, I would say.
Yeah.
We tried to, maybe I've said this before, but the design of the dupe, we tried to make it as simple looking as possible, because when you play, you just don't want to be bogged down with details. Some of you might have seen, I showed old designs of the characters before they looked like this, and they almost looked like Don't Starve characters. I think Jeff did a pass where they had the white eyes and the kind of more like scribbly hair and that kind of thing. And like when you're playing the game and they're like this size, maybe not that small, but when they're smallish, you just want to be able to you still want it to pop. You want to see the eyes, you want to see the mouth and the face, and pretty much the hair. And those are the distinguishing factors. If you take the head away, everyone looks the same.
Yeah, pretty much.
So there is a Lego-ness to that. Like we do, the head shapes are the same on all the dupes, but then we switch the hair, so that's quite Lego-like. Maybe that might be it.
Also, this kind of shape and proportion, just it's it's just so adorable. Like you kind of you see this kind of shape and you don't have any, like bad feelings towards whatever is that shaped. So
You don't have violent tendencies.
yeah,
when
yeah, yeah. You tend to want to save them and take good care of them, even though they get themselves in a really hairy situation sometimes where you're just like, what are you doing?
Yeah, these guys are pretty much 2 heads tall, or thereabouts. And generally, there's a general rule in this, like, character
animation.
design where
They measure things by heads.
babies' heads are huge, so that's a factor in making them look cute. Superheroes are like this. Dun, 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 dun. So their heads are way smaller.
It's a question from Zedblue. What about courses on sites like Udemy or other online MOOCs? Is the learning experience from anywhere more important than a degree/diploma from school? I don't think so, man. Like, I've worked with a lot of people that also just did like the online courses from, like, what was it, the schoolism stuff and all those things. And,
Yeah.
Because they're teaching you.
Sorry, what was the question? Are they just as good?
Yeah, are they just as good as like going to actual like school? And I feel like as long as you're taking away the stuff that makes a difference in like in your work and making you better, I don't think the environment matters at all. Because at the end of it, having a good portfolio and having the skills to be able to work in the industry is what matters. So if you're able to get it from reading a book, from just doing the exercises at home or going to school, then I think it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I've taken
Online
a couple
courses,
of schoolism courses.
Yeah, I know my wife also took the schoolism thing like way back when for character design and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's
it really
good.
depends if you want to hone in on a certain thing. Like, I want to be a storyboard artist, or I want to be a really good animator, or I want to do more technical things. Yeah. Today you can just there's online classes for just about anything.
Yeah. Oh, I guess we're also simulcasting on the Oni Steam store page. So if you're viewing us from the Steam page, hey guys, how's it going? We're glad you could join us.
Who made the Dreco Wrangle art?
That would be myself. Unless it's a complaint, then it's not me at all. It looks like a cat who's sick of your crap. Well, I was trying to go for like the opposite of him enjoying the falling so much that I thought that he was tied up and he'd be pretty pissed. He did kind of like free falling a little too much. Free fall.
Also, Watermelon's next comment: how I learned how to draw, copying Klei's artwork. That might be a bit of a joke, but that's a legitimate way.
Yeah.
Just don't claim it as your own, but like copy everyone.
Yeah.
Or at least the people you like.
I have a
We've all
huge
done it.
stack of art that I reference that is all just like the stuff like Mike McNoll.
Rob Liefeld.
Rob Liefeld. I have some very Rob Liefeld-y old drawings because that was my jam, comics and stuff back then. It's how I first learned anatomy, which is kind of
there you go.
Not the best way
to
learn.
Start somewhere. We use Cintiqs. Those are the tablets we use. It's a Cintiq drawing tablet. You draw right on the screen. But like the tablets, I used those for years as well, and they're great too. They're a lot less money if like that's an issue. But it's still a good way to learn. I know a lot of professional, like really good artists that still just use that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Cool. Should we jump into something?
Yeah.
else?
Okay. I just got lost in this chat here.
Yeah, there's a lot of good questions.
Yeah.
I'll keep an eye on the questions
Thank you.
too.
Keep
So
asking
keep
questions.
asking
It's
stuff,
good.
and we'll answer it as we go along.
All right. Okay, I'll just jump in. If you have any, just stop me whenever, Ragnar.
I can't stop the train, man.
Can't stop. There's no stopping it. Okay. I don't really have an order for these. These are just random animations that you've maybe seen in the game. Actually, I don't know if this one's even in. Is this one in?
Ooh, I haven't seen that, but
Okay.
I did see it when I was going through. We have a bunch of files in the game that like I didn't even know exist.
Yeah, we have a lot of stuff that's either been put in or taken out, or it's on hold, or if we're waiting to use it for something else. Yeah, so here's an action I called put off. I made this quite a while ago.
It looks pretty put off.
Yeah, without really any sort of specific goal. It was around the time, I think, actually I have the other, so I made this animation, which I think, where's this animation now? It's in, after you like get a job.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you took this animation and you put it in
I remember.
so yeah, they put the hat on and they're like, yay, I'm whatever, minor.
I've got
I am
responsibility.
a sweeper. So yeah, after I made this animation, I figured we could use it for other things. And I figured this one's so cheery that we should probably do one that's basically the opposite, or like kind of a negative. Like if this is a positive reaction, then this is the negative reaction. And we had talked at one point where, you know, when we change the locomotion when they get really stressed out, and then there's like the guy that cries and the guy that throws up, or no, the overeater.
The overeater.
All that. And one of the ideas we had at the time was, like, which isn't in the game currently, but was other dupes reacting to overly stressed dupes. And so like it was like if they saw one crying, they'd be like, oh no, which is probably not a good reaction. Anyways, yeah, this was that sort of thing.
Mindspatch says the reading animation should be re-implemented, probably for a hobby or getting knowledge, ? Yeah, I mean, we have like so many things that we like haven't really, because that one was, they put it in when we got the job system, but then after the job board, we changed it to something that was a bit more appropriate for the flow. And like the animation's still floating around somewhere. It's just now finding a thing that we could use it for. I'm sure we'll find a reason to use it. Yeah.
Why can't Drekos fly, Ragnar?
You know, it's they're grounded. They're chill. They're down to earth as well.
We made them walk on walls.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Nothing else does
pretty
that.
Good. Yeah.
We already have flying things.
Yeah.
We like to do different things.
Wrangling babies.
Wrangling babies. Any practice or technique tips for a starter?
Watch our other videos that we
Yeah,
we've
there
put
you
up
go.
for.
You're
for,
good at promotion.
Yeah. Got you. I got you guys. We have the basics for animations 4 other episodes ago, and it should be a good practice, like the bouncing ball or the waves and arcs and all that stuff. It's all just breaking it down to like the basics, and then at some point trying to put all of that together. Actually, which is why we're gonna cover some of the like animation stuff that we have talked about before, and how they're part of like all the stuff that we do with the dupes and all the other animations that we do here, like so.
So yeah, as a recap from last week's principles, this is a keyframe, and here's the main keyframe for the put off action. And then this is a loop. So actually, if you go from here to here, in Animate, there's a cool looping feature. And then you can just go, oh, I don't approve. And then when they're done, they can come out of it. Alex kind of looks like Skrillex.
Oof.
How dare you? Skrillex. Doesn't
Over
Skrillex
here,
have like long hair?
Over here, we like to call him the Dream.
Skrillex.
Skrillex.
Very well.
Yeah.
Hot book anim, yeah. When they, Glenn. Here, I'll let you. Well, you got the thing there.
I got this thing.
Yeah.
Have I animated on Invisible Ink? I actually was not at Klei when Invisible Ink was being made, I think.
Yeah, when did you...
I joined in 2017, so that was like a good year or two
Yeah.
after the game, I think, came out.
Yeah. Disappointed. Let's see.
What program did they use for animating? Is that After Effects? No, we are on Animate.
Yeah,
Adobe Animate. But we have used After
even-
Effects for other stuff before, just putting together
Yeah.
some of the scenes for the animated shorts or the trailers and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Photoshop, pretty much everything. Yeah.
I don't even think this animation is in the game. Maybe it is. Is it? I don't know.
I haven't seen this one in the game. I've seen it in the files when I was putting in all the hats and stuff.
Yeah. This is another one I think was done very early on.
Yeah.
Like I want to say,
Yeah.
Mike animated this.
But
and
this
Mike
this
hasn't
one's
been
nice
on.
because you can, like, it's not a whole like silhouette more different than the regular stance, but it's different enough that when it hits that pose, it automatically reads as a disappointment.
Yeah. Yeah. So I forgot the name of the person that asked about the expressions earlier. But so this is a good example of
Yeah, matching the expression
Yeah.
to the pose.
match. And then their eyes close and they go, and then back. So this is not like if I was working on a television show or especially like on a feature film, this is kind of unacceptable. Like on a game, it's fine because the animation is controlled by code and we can't account for like every single scenario. But if this was a shot in a show, you would have to, like this just pops into this expression. You'd have to animate into it or blink into it, like is a natural thing you do when you switch expressions. Someone did this to me in school where, like, so look at this finger, and then whenever you're ready, look at this finger. Oh, you didn't do it.
What were we looking for? What were we looking for?
So a lot of people, when they look at this finger
Yeah.
and then you go look at this finger,
Yeah.
you subconsciously blink in between. So
Oh.
I think when people are really concentrating, they're just
Yeah.
kind of doing this.
Yeah.
But if you're not really thinking about it, you blink.
Oh, right.
And
But-
so
yeah.
that applies obviously in animation. Like if you do a head turn,
Yeah, you do a blink in the
do a
middle of the
blink.
head turn.
And then as a general rule, when I switch expressions,
Yeah.
unless it's part of the gag, like you would blink into a different expression.
Actually, that's one thing we didn't really cover, because I know when you're animating in Flash, it's kind of different from when you're just drawing things like on paper, because you can draw whatever shape you want, but in Flash you have to pick a point where you switch the cells. What's your
Sorry,
system
say
for
that again? When
you switch the
when you're
drawings
drawing?
up? Yeah.
Oh, and in Flash you have
Yeah,
to.
because you know how everything's a symbol, and sometimes you have to switch, like this open hand symbol, for example, for like maybe a close.
Oh,
fist
I
symbol.
see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. When do I do that?
Yeah, like like when do you usually find it the best to?
So definitely not. Like I try to do it in the fast actions, which I think everybody does,
Yeah.
or every animator worth their salt. But say your hand is moving this slowly. You don't just start like popping into like different hands. Like you would maybe anticipate, and then at the end of that, change the hand. And then these are all tricks like for a more limited style. Obviously, if you work at Disney or Pixar, you're doing like
Yeah, like a crazy. Yeah.
you're animating every single frame and you're going over it for weeks.
Yeah.
That is a different style of animation altogether. Yeah, like the difference is generally that, like you have way more time to like, yeah, if we had that amount of time, I would be drawing every single different hand.
thing, yeah.
And you'll see like when we work on the shorts, maybe not as much on Oni, but if you look at that Griftlands short,
Yeah.
Aaron and Dan
Oof,
were
they killed
animating
it.
everything,
Yeah.
and it took longer, but it looks awesome too. So.
Yeah, I know. Like, I think it's also sometimes it works out to change something when you least expect it to. So always look out for those happy mistakes that happen, and you're just like, oh, hey, well that works. Yeah. Question here from S Jump, JMP. Why don't you use spine? I'm just gonna assume spine is like the bone or IK stuff. You know when they have like that skeleton.
Yeah.
For the stuff that we're doing, I feel like it would be kind of prohibitive for our animation because, like, I mean, these characters don't have too many joints. It's basically very simple, and I think we get away with having characters that we can break on a whim to make them do the stuff that we want them to do. So yeah, the spine stuff, like, it's cool, but sometimes it doesn't
Yeah, is spine, is that like a bone system?
Yeah.
Like, is that what
Yeah, I
spine
think
is?
so.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I mean, when it comes to this 2D stuff, I know, I think Animate tried to, or has a bone system.
I think so.
I think, and Harmony as well.
Harmony is very hierarchy based.
Yeah, but
yeah.
I don't know, like, I get why that might be useful in certain situations, but we kind of just, when something doesn't work for us, we redraw it. And that's, I think, like, you know, most of us have drawing experience, so yeah.
Question from Mew the Mew. Who came up with the final dupe designs?
Who came up with the final dupe designs? Jeff kind of was there to oversee it, like at the different stages that it was changing, and hey, we're bigger now. Yeah, so yeah, like I said earlier, like we had, like, it looked a little bit more like the Don't Starve characters, and then we changed it, and then at one point, like very, very early on, I don't know if anyone saw this, but we had like 3D, like CG designs of them, and so yeah, it's iterated. Like a few different artists within the studio have, like, kind of contributed to the look of it, and then yeah, at some point, it's like, okay, that's nailed. So yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. Who designed the critters? Kind of a little bit everybody.
Yeah.
Different critters were designed by different people.
And there's a lot that was already in the game before Erica and I jumped on.
Yeah, so Ragnar did the Draco. That was the latest character.
Yeah.
Nana did the baby light bug.
Yeah.
I did the adult light bug.
Yeah.
What else? Hatch. Mike Rodriguez, who doesn't, like, he's working on a different thing now, did the Hatch way back, and the Puffed as well, I think.
Yeah.
I think Jeff designed the Puffed.
Who did the fish, the Paku?
That was Mike as well.
Cool.
I think, yeah.
It was, like, on the screen for, like, the longest time before we got into the game.
Yeah. Can you show the baby Dracos? Do you have that?
Yeah, I do, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's show it.
Cool.
You want to switch?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh.
Over,
Up,
under?
over, under. I'm always the under.
Okay. It's established. It's established.
Oosh.
When will the shockworm be added? I know, bring the shockworm back. So
I
animated that guy, but we're trying to figure out we were at one point trying to figure out a way to add him where he wasn't so aggressive.
Is it aggressive? Is it super aggressive?
Yeah, it, like, sent out, like, crazy electrical shocks.
Oh. I didn't even. All right, sorry. Let me just get some files out here. This one. Yeah. The baby Draco. Here we go.
What doesn't Emmett do? Yeah, Emmett does a lot of things.
Emmett does everything.
I've been.
The man is
I'd love to
full of talent.
have him just take piano requests on stream for 1 hour. I would watch that.
Actually, Nano was just working on this too, like
there you
not
go.
too long ago. Yeah, so here's the baby Draco file. I don't know if you guys can see the timeline there. It's kind of almost as long as the original Draco's timeline as well, because it's got a lot of animation in it, just because it has to crawl up walls and all this stuff too.
Hey Ragnar, why are the sprites all so cute?
Because we really were trying so that guys and girls playing the game would want to take care of them, we've seen a couple of farms where, you know, like, it's,
humans gonna human.
humans are gonna human. They gotta get their meat fix. Yeah, I think Nana just added this one here, the trust state.
If you couldn't tell by now, all the artists on Oni like to make things cute.
Yeah.
Everything's kind of cutesy.
Yeah. So if you would see...
Just because there's so much like that could go wrong in
Yeah.
a base. At least you can look at it and it's cute.
It's like the happy retreat for when everything else is on fire.
Yeah.
Or, you know, failing or getting destroyed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this part here, I remember when I was working on the walk, I was like, well, how can we make it different from like the big guy?
Sure, yeah.
And I was like, well, maybe his arms are going to be a little bit short and it's not really reaching the floor, but he's got like this, you know, like he's still got that motion where he's trying.
Yeah. So the way Ragnar just said that, I think is fairly important. Like, you literally were just like, maybe he could do, like, you come up with that idea.
Yeah.
You kind of, I'm sure you roughed it out a little bit too. And then typically you'll show it to like Erica and I and Nana, and we'll all just kind of powwow and and it kind of goes about that way.
Yeah. Actually, I'll put this on repeat here. This is like a little bit interesting because he like the idol for the Draco is actually very like it's basically just him kind of squashing down and sideways, but to make it a little bit more interesting, these couple of parts here, they're the scales, and what I did just to give it a little bit of variance is I basically set them just a little bit off timing with each other. So then if I move this whole thing, you'll actually see that now all the scales are moving at the same time, but it looks kind of like stiff.
Too uniform.
Yeah, too uniform. So when you're animating, you try to break things down so it's not too uniform and stiff.
Gives it visual interest.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's a good tip and trick. If you're familiar with Animate, you can literally just what Ragnar's doing with these keyframes is you're not changing the actual art, you're just changing when it hits that keyframe. So even just like a 2 or 3 frame delay, even a 1 frame delay,
changes it a lot.
It's called built-in overlap.
Yeah. So then now you have like a cascading effect. Looks more interesting, kind of cool. You know, the bigger Draco, of course, has like more scale, so it looks even more pronounced and better. But yeah.
Nice. Yeah, we haven't really talked about overlap, have we? In any of these videos? You guys did the flag.
We covered it a little bit in the flag and the. It's in the wave.
We're professionals.
Yeah, but we try to put the overlap into wherever we can. So aside from just the idle, like you'll see, like here when he's crawling, it's also a bit delayed. Some of the other parts here, they start moving down, like these scales start moving down sooner than this, and then this, and the tail. So yeah.
I'm gonna draw so many baby Dracos playing around.
Yeah.
Please do.
Yeah, man.
Maybe that should be the drawing challenge. Yeah. Draw a Draco.
Yeah. Here too, like that little stagger in the scales, they're also timed a little bit off.
Is he dying?
Yeah, this is the dying pose. That's
the ultimate sadness.
We put these animations in there and hope that you guys never have to see it. But
we've seen it.
But we've seen it, so
it
happens.
The sad Draco death.
Yeah. Here's the baby Draco fall. Like
so happy.
Yeah. I feel like he's even happier than the adult. Right? And that one actually, like, you know how about like happy mistakes, like the Draco thing?
Yeah.
So when I put the file into the game, I had forgotten to change the facial expression of him being happy. So it just went in and like it was happy.
Okay.
And then like I think Yog was like, hey, people are posting about this happy Draco falling, and I was like, oh my god, I forgot to change the face.
It's in now.
But it's in now, and that's part of the that's part of their lore. So I had to like just double down on it with the Draco. So happy mistakes. Sometimes they work out. You never know what people are going to react to positively.
You really don't.
Yeah. I love this. This
What's
is
that?
this is the pooping.
Yeah, there we go.
Ooh.
The struggle.
Yeah. See,
It's real.
and here again with the staggeredness. Yeah.
Nice.
And when we're posing things out, like we were talking about a couple episodes ago, like they're not really all that much different from when we finish. Not that one. When we finish animating them. So this is I think this is the initial one I posted to the chat before I finalized everything.
And that was for the walk?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this was the walk cycle part of it, and yeah, he just
Keys.
yeah, the keys. I don't even.
Yeah.
There's a breakdown in there somewhere. But generally, like
It gives you the general,
Yeah.
like, oh, that's what he's gonna sort of look like when he's walking, as
Yeah.
opposed to, yeah, like standing up on his tail and hopping around or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's this? Gamer cat. There's a dupe a day thread that
that I made.
that Alex made here.
I've been woefully neglectful. I need to go back on that thread and interact. I do snoop on it regularly, and it makes me happy that people still post on that. So thank you. I'll post on it again soon.
Yeah.
I'll do some post-it note dupes. I like those.
Yeah, those are my favorites. The one
Fun,
with the
yeah. We
with
should
the
do
puffed.
one right when we get off stream. I'll do
Yeah,
one.
yeah. Do we want to make up a drawing challenge for the people?
Yeah.
And then you guys can post it on the dupe a day.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we'll think of something before the stream's over.
I think it should be Dreco related.
Oh yeah, there we go. I'm a fan of this.
Yeah, let's all draw Drecos.
Yeah.
Draw your own version, your own variant of a Dreco. So I think that one, it's like you shave it down for plastic,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
other one you shave it down for wool, or is it like fabric?
Fabric. Yeah.
Fabric. Okay.
So it's
Come up with a
plastic and-
dupe. What variant
Yeah.
of dupe?
What variant of dupe?
What do you get from this dupe? That's the drawing challenge. We'll make it official later.
Sounds good.
What's your most favorite thing to have drawn for the game so far?
I'm gonna say that baby Dreco actually.
Yeah, there you go. It is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what mine would be. I'm not too sure, but just I love animating the dupes. I love giving them like little actions and weird little quirks.
We have. Oh my god, this timeline is so big. I
It
actually
is.
felt bad when Nana had to like do something with this. I was like, oh, I hope she finds everything okay.
Show off a bit of that. Do they transition like off the corners and stuff? Like the adults, or I saw one where they
yeah,
go
yeah.
down. Okay.
So they have a.
Yeah, explain how that works.
Oof, I don't know. I feel
Or
like I
not.
would need a. I feel like I would need the help of Brooke here and Yog. But so basically, when we think of these creatures, we also have to think of how they're gonna move around the base. And so basically, the part where they crawl on the walls, actually, I had a really hard time wrapping my head around
Yeah,
it.
I bet.
Because they basically. Oh, in the beginning, we had.
In the
beginning, we had so many like versions of this where they would, actually be going up, like this way. That's a different animation from the one going down this way, and then going over this way, and then one going down this way.
You can just draw if you need to.
Actually, yeah, that's true. Where can I draw here? Let's see. So
Anywhere.
we had an animation that had to go. So this one is basically he's going down, but we had to add we didn't have the system down yet. I think in the game. So what we had to do back then is we had to separate them to separate animations going this way. Well, that's not even an arrow. This way, and then again this way. So that was like 4 different states that we had to do.
Yeah.
And it took so long. So when we were working on back then, like the adult Draco's timeline was, I think, almost at like 2,000 frames, and it was like getting pretty heavy to where like whenever I exported, I actually had to wait something like 5 minutes before it was done.
Yeah.
And then at some point, Brooke and Yog and the programmers figured out a way so that we really only needed one of these animations, and then they could just play it for whichever side needed it when he was going up, going down.
We have wizards
Yeah.
working at Klei
Computer
on the
wizards.
programmer side.
So then after that, I only had to do one of these and one of these for this guy.
Excellent.
Boom. And then they take care of the magic.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Why were certain movements chosen when doing a certain anim? It's a little vague. To be specific, when you, okay, well, let's apply that to this.
This one.
Why did you choose the motion that you chose, or the movement?
So in the Draco's case, for the adult one, it was a little bit easier because his legs were actually attached to, or not attached, but were in contact with the ground. So when he moved, I could basically have him look like he was kind of crawling. For the baby Draco, because his limbs are off the ground, then I had to somehow make him move similarly but differently because he can't push or pull himself. So then this thing came in where he would do it kind of sort of like how a snake would, and just like fold his.
Yeah. So kind of to tag team off that, certain movements are chosen sometimes based on the character design. So like this guy slithers around on the ground, so you obviously wouldn't make him like walk around. So you would choose a movement that was more like slithery or snake-like. That could be a reason why you choose a certain movement. Another reason could just be personality. Like, are they aggressive, or are they like supposed to be cute and happy?
Yeah.
You know, an aggressive would have like maybe sharper, more jagged movements.
Yeah.
More unexpected. And a lot of these things you can look to nature for that kind of thing too, like how baby creatures react in nature versus how like a cobra.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. Those all factor into our decisions.
Jam Bell is on the chat.
Jam Bell.
Hello, Mr. Bell.
Dropping sound knowledge.
Fun fact, also, Mr. Bell. Jam, you should tell them the fun fact that you told us about the Draco sound wave yesterday or the sound file yesterday on the chat there. Where it was it was like the Draco sound file is bigger.
Yeah, that's what he's saying here. Yeah. Draco's sound effects
there
tagging
is,
file is as big as all of the other creatures combined.
Yeah.
Is that your way of telling us we're doing too many things?
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. It just happened.
I'm kid. Jam Bell has
Gamer
a fan
Cat
club.
9071. Have you made the fluffy baby Draco? Heck yes. Here we go. Hold on. Boom! Right there.
There it is.
Yay! So adorable. I
Plush.
Yeah.
Let's turn it into plush. Let's get Corey here.
This, I didn't really like the, not that I didn't really like, but I preferred the plastic Draco over the fiber Draco in adult form.
Yeah.
But when I was working on the baby one, as soon as I got to this, I didn't know because I just changed all the drawings and all the frames.
Okay, yeah.
And then so I'm like, oh yeah, this is pretty cute. And then I got to this one, I was like, oh man, I can't even. So if you see him moving around the base, stop and admire him for how cute he is.
That's pretty great. That's another note about the way we design creatures is like Ragnar designed that one with the scales. Like that was the original creature. And then
this is the original
somewhere
creature.
along in the process, we were like, there's going to be variations on these creatures. So at that point, it's not so much, you're not doing like a whole, like you're not starting from a blank piece of paper again. Like you kind of take that design, we kind of design the individual scales and
Yeah.
like the pieces, like because we are literally replacing art but using the same animation. So similarly to how we do all the dupe animation as well. So
Yeah.
it has to still work without breaking, and sometimes it's a bit of a tightrope.
Yeah.
But Ragnar's a professional.
I try to be a professional. So here's the adult Dreco file, just for comparison. Like, because we work on so many like creatures stuff that like when you have to work on a baby variant, you have so much like reference to pull from, because like we have all the animation files, and because there's like some sort of lineage, so you have to like kind of like study it and be like, oh, so if this was the baby, how would it be similar to the adult while still, maintaining its own sort of identity?
Yeah. But then again, that way you said, like that is essentially the thought process in all of animation, where, you're not just like, oh, I'm gonna do my own thing now because it's a brand new animation. Like, we're still looking back at what's been done, how it makes sense with everything else. Like if I animate something like a creature that's meant to be moving fast or darts around, you want to think about adding a creature that's maybe moves slower or I like that this one. I really like his like transitions around corners.
This is a nightmare.
You make baby Paku a little bigger. It's super tiny now. We can think about it.
We'll let the higher ups know. I think I remember when I was working on this, and then you came by, and you said something like, "Oof, scales."
Scales. Oh yeah, because
And at the time, because after I designed it, I was like super happy with it, and then. What was it you said? Oh, you had such a sparkle in your eye, but I didn't want to say anything.
Sometimes that was the first creature you had taken from like design to finished animation. And so, I know like sometimes that's another thing. You design a really cool character, has all these details, and at least how we do it on this project and on most projects at Klei is like, if you've designed it and it's going in the game, then you're now animating it. And
like everything.
So, in some other studios, there's a character designer, and he just like whips off whatever crazy thing he wants with like tentacles and whatever patterns on their skin, and then he just like doesn't think about it ever again. And a poor animator spends like a month trying to animate it by hand and pulling their hair out and not seeing their loved ones.
It wasn't that bad.
So,
it never got to that.
The sparkle is back. I can tell.
The sparkle is back. But like so this whole chunk here is pretty much just that end.
It's the whole thing's kind of overlapping what the actual body's doing.
Yeah, and
I like that it can flex its scales.
I don't know how the anatomy works.
It's an alien.
I remember
it's the beauty of aliens.
This one was like when I first started doing like the crawl or the walk or the whatever. It was like, oh, maybe this is too much. And because remember, I think we were discussing how like when the scales were shaved off,
right?
How he would look like.
Oh
right. Because my plan was just like he was just gonna have like basically a long tail, I think.
Yeah.
Like this one. So if you
pluck them all off.
Yeah, if you pluck everything out. Oh, how can I select that? Yeah. So you pluck everything off, he just has a huge tail.
Yeah. Just a huge skin tail.
Yeah. So originally, that was my plan for him. Was he was gonna be like, oh, that's what the Dreco is without the scales. And then I think and this is why it's nice to talk to like everybody on the team, because like there's so many ideas and so many good ones that you probably will miss when you're just kind of in your own head.
Yeah.
And then I think you had said if he was gonna be shaved or mined for something, he should look a little bit different, just so that, because when you see him in the game, he is literally like
Yeah.
like that small, like this
Yeah.
this size.
Yeah.
And
It's good to break that silhouette
yeah.
if it's has like a mechanical purpose in the game.
So basically, if you had seen him like this walking around, then you know, oh, like he's not ready, as opposed to like if you saw him just like this from far away, kind of.
Yeah, he's still got the same silhouette.
shape.
It's
Yeah.
just one extra thing you can do to kind of.
But for visual clarity, it's very, very good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you know, like, I'm still learning stuff.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm still learning stuff.
Hey,
You know,
I'm always learning stuff still.
constantly surprised by how much I'm learning still, even after so long.
Yeah, and that is the thing. Like we were talking about school earlier. Yeah, school kind of prepares you for your first job.
Yeah,
But your first job kind of
teaches
you so much about where you're going to end up on your job after that and after that. Yeah, so. Someone said earlier, can you make a sleepy Draco expression to make it look less traumatized? He is a bit pie-eyed.
Yeah, he's
part of
very-
his charm, I think.
Yeah.
Is does he have a sleep animation?
Not the adult, but the baby one.
The baby
does.
does, right?
Yeah.
And
so,
are
hey,
his eyes just do
let's
his eyes
see.
just close or?
Where is it? I think I saw it. Nope. This is also the. Oh, here we go. Sleep loop. Let's see.
So Draco scales are only on its tail, and it's really just a blue Pac-Man with arms and 4 eyes. Yep.
Yeah, basically. No, actually,
Basically.
I was actually.
Someone make a Pac-Man level
Yeah.
with Draco.
If anyone plays Monster Hunter, I was playing a lot of Monster Hunter when we were working on the update for ranching, and if you look up basil juice, or I forget how you say his name, he had like these very crazy scales in his build that he would discard of as kind of like an attack, like they're like explodey scales, and I was very much like into that design. So when I was designing creatures, like I think I had like 4 or 5 things that I threw out as a design for you guys, I think, right?
Okay,
in the chat. And,
I remember that.
And one of them was sort of kind of something similar to this, but I think everybody didn't like that shape so much and like the other one better. And I was like, how could I put this into that other design? and then this just happens.
Yeah.
So it's all like a big process. But yeah, it's interesting to look back on it because you never know how like things pan out, because usually the first ideas aren't the like final ideas at all, or you know, like a lot of change is happening.
It's true. Oh, the Drawbarian.
Jess is on?
Yeah.
Hi, Jess.
Yes. Is there a trick you guys use to keep everything so uniform when there's so much crazy stuff on screen?
Oof.
Certain visual cues or something. I'm always surprised how easy everything is to read and know. Well, thank you.
Thanks, man.
We're always worried about the readability of things. And actually, yeah, what Jambo was saying, yeah, we were animating in loops in multiples of 30 frames. I still do it for buildings.
Yeah.
So yeah, that might have something to do with it. Yeah, and so Jambel's sounds are all tagged for that timing, and you know the initial idea was for like a whole base of buildings to kind of make their own sort of synchronized cacophony. TM. So yeah, that definitely adds to it. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, it's a mess. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to look at. But we do try to break up the, like, yeah.
Yeah. It's also my first time actually looking back into this file since the last update or so.
Yeah.
So it's my first time actually seeing the thing that Nana did, and like she got the cascading thing in. I'm so happy.
Yeah, there you go. Nana's a professional too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. Jazz drum. Yeah. Yeah, animating to the sound is great. I wish we could do more
Sound animated.
having the sound and then animating to it. I know it's a bit tough
What else
with
do
our
we have?
pipeline, but
Oh,
hey,
old
egg breaking.
egg break. Did this actually make its way back into
No, not in this building. You break eggs now at an egg cracker.
egg cracker?
So,
Yeah.
but I still, I took a bunch of your animation and now you crack the egg a little bit higher.
Yeah.
And then for this machine, I made it like so that the dupe is actually hugging the machine.
So good.
Yeah,
love it.
that's what it's evolved to. These
Yeah.
when dupes interact with buildings, it started out very like, oh, I'm pushing buttons and I'm actually working on a machine, and then, we did enough of those where like I was going to do another one and I'm like, it's just the same thing I'm doing over again. And
Yeah.
so another way to think of it was like, and it adds personality in my opinion, is the dupe just like not even interacting with it or like doing something funny instead,
Yeah.
like hugging the machine is,
Yeah.
that adds personality.
Yeah. It's funny because like every time we do some new animations for the dupes, we're always like, the roadmap is like, how would they do things in a dupe way
Yeah.
that's gonna read like a person doing it normally in real life, but in their own kind of
And their own dupe
weird
brain.
little dupe brain. Yeah. What's your thought process on?
Yeah,
on, like-
it's kind of that. Like they get to a similar solution, but in their own kind of crazy roundabout way.
Yeah.
And that philosophy is in the design of the buildings. It's in their actions. Yeah, we try to
have
keep
two of
that
these.
somewhat.
Oh, we made the
consistent.
spoon bigger.
Yeah, I made the spoon
Yeah,
huge
yeah.
because again, everything. I just try to make everything bigger,
It's funny,
larger
though.
than life.
Yeah.
And it is funny, and you don't really question it. Sometimes, it's easy to get technical and be like, would that really be, like, why would they do that, or why would they do this? And sometimes the answer is, why not?
Yeah.
And you just have to, like, let that go. And yeah. Does the dupe keep a spoon in their neck cuff? That's exactly
Yeah.
the kind of
Yeah, that's the
It's
question.
like, yes,
yeah.
they keep that. Where do they keep the gun, really? Like in these files, you can see the gun on their back, but that's not actually in game. So where
Oh, the gun,
do
right,
they
yeah.
keep those guns?
Yeah,
They've
yeah,
got
'cause they
got
just-
big neck pockets.
Pull it out.
Just pull it right out. Yeah, lots of little hidden things.
Yeah. So a lot of, when I'm doing designs too for like a bunch of these things, I like to pull in, I think I got rid of some of them already, but usually I'll have like, these guys up here kind of just as like a guide for style and make sure that everything kind of still looks like they're all in the same world, because sometimes you get carried away with the design to like a point where it doesn't even look like they're from the same game. So it's just nice to have a compass of sorts to just point you
I
in the
do
right
that
direction.
with all of my files. So like just on a guided reference layer,
Yeah.
always have that, like turn it on,
Yeah.
put your art next to it. I look for like line quality, like making sure the blackout lines are the same width. Yeah.
I think what was that? You sent us that file of like buildings from when we design, or from when you guys designed the first buildings.
And
in
I
the
was,
game.
there's just all the designs slapped
and
together.
I
yeah.
still reference that
Yeah,
like,
it's
every
good.
time we make new buildings. I'm
I
like,
still
oh,
look at that too. Yeah.
because that feel in that file is
Just
just
all
so
of them
like.
together. Yeah.
All right, well,
Yeah. It's at 4:30 already.
it's 4:30. Holy crap! I feel like we just got in here. All right, guys.
You guys had a lot of really good questions. So thank you.
Oh, we gotta do what's the drawing challenge again?
I say draw Dreco. Take Ragnar's design
Make it better.
and draw Dreco doing something funny.
Nice.
Anything.
Yeah.
Be creative.
And then we'll try to post something in there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Find the Dreco's inner personality and put it on paper.
Nice. Sounds good.
and we'll
Alright.
post it in the forums.
Yeah.
Thanks you guys.
Thanks, guys, for hanging out.
Yeah.
Great questions. See you
Yeah.
again next time.
Yeah. We'll do this again.
Yeah.
If you have any topics or other questions that you'd like to see covered that we haven't,
Yeah.
let us know. Let Jan know. Let any of us know, and we'll make a point of talking about anything you guys want us to talk about.
Nice,
That was
nailed it.
not rehearsed at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, guys. We'll be hosting Aka TV. Tell him we said hey, and we'll see you again on the next show.
Thanks.
Peace. Outro.
There we go.